everybody, and welcome back to the United Stand and welcome to the road trip here in Bilbao. It was absolutely glorious yesterday, but Manchester United are here and there is a storm coming. It's still warm, but it's gone cloudy. A storm is coming ahead of kick-off later tonight. Hopefully, Ricky, Ruben Amorim and Manchester United are going to cook up a storm on the pitch and surprise everybody and get a win tonight.
I hope so, love. I really do. It's going to be tough, obviously, but yeah, I hope I hope that storm is related to United putting a storm on as well.
I really, really hope so. It feels like going into this game, Ricky, that a lot of people are thinking if we can get out of there with a draw, that'll be a decent result. I've even heard some people say, you know what, even if they beat us 1-0, it's something to take back to Old Trafford. A lot of Manchester United fans aren't too confident of Manchester United going here tonight and getting a result.
Yeah, obviously, I think they're fifth, are they, in La Liga? Fourth in La Liga, you know what I mean? That's a really, really tough game.
Could get third.
Yeah, it's a really, really
Still in
tough
the mix.
game. Make no mistake about it. And they hardly had, I think they've got the best defensive record in
They
La
have
Liga.
Conceded the least amount of goals in La Liga.
I don't think the people are stupid who are saying a 1-0 defeat wouldn't be too bad, because at the end of the day, the last thing we want is to be 3 or 4 down, obviously. Do you know what I mean? Going into the second leg. So I'm not going to say I'd take it, but I won't be absolutely devastated if we lose 1-0.
The last thing you want is not having a result that you can play for at Old Trafford.
Correct.
I mean, Old Trafford's a special place, we know that, but you've got to keep it in the realms of possibilities.
Yeah.
Even though Lyon kind of did defy that, but
Yeah.
Athletic Club are going to be a tougher team to break down than Lyon, in my opinion, based off the statistics, the defensive record, and just where they're at in my opinion, which is a better league in La Liga. They are missing their best attacking midfielder, which is going to be helpful towards Manchester United. And Manchester United might have Ahmad and De Ligt back. It's interesting, Ricky, actually, because everyone saw that Ahmad and De Ligt travelled, and they thought, oh my gosh, they're going to be back for the game. But a lot of United players that are even registered for the Europa League have travelled, like Chido Obi, because they're going to be doing the training here tomorrow ahead of the game against Brentford on Sunday.
Okay.
So they might not even be in the squad. You know, it's going to be a close call. Would you be using them?
I would. Look, if they're fit enough to go on, if they're fit enough to go on the bench, it really, in my book, you should be fit enough to start. But they're not going to start them straight away, are they? But if they're fit enough to go on the bench, I would put them on the bench without a doubt.
You would put them on the bench?
In particular, Ahmad, if we wanted to try and get a goal back. I mean, say we were 2-0 down, I'd be desperate to get a goal back, and I would, in a case like that, I would use Ahmad to try and get that goal back.
Interesting. I completely agree with you, and it's exactly what I said on the show yesterday. I said, I think De Ligt would be great because Luke Shaw, you don't want to overwhelm him with a lot of minutes because you know how easily he can break down. You know, you've not quite got the full strength in terms of defence with Dallo being out, so it would be good if you could use him for 5 or 10 minutes, but if you're up against it and you're going to try and nick a goal in the last 10 minutes, Ahmad would be a serious weapon to be able to bring on, and I think he'd be really important. And he's been training a little bit longer than De Ligt as well, so hopefully he can be ready. That would be really exciting to see him come back tonight.
I don't see any reason whatsoever to risk De Ligt. We've got plenty of centre-back cover and decent centre-back cover.
You're going to bring up Victor Lindelof?
We've got Lindelof and Evans on the bench probably, aren't we? I think Mazraoui...
Would you throw Lindelof and Evans into a game like this?
If they're getting injured, of course I would, yeah. Lindelof's playing perfectly well and he plays perfectly well. If we get an injury... I think the 3 centre-backs are going to be Yoro, Maguire and Shaw. And if Lindelof's got to play half an hour, so be it. I've got no problem with it whatsoever.
I want to bring up this statistic to tell you. I had it saved, because I thought you might say that. Since De Ligt's injury, United have conceded 12 goals in 6 games. United had only conceded 5 goals in the 6 games prior to De Ligt's injury.
Wow.
So De Ligt, you can't argue with it, has been massively missed.
Maybe you can't argue it, but I'd like to see who we played in the games that De Ligt played in and who we've played against in the games since then.
To be honest with you, I think since then we've played some teams where you'd expect Manchester United to do pretty well, to be fair to you. Like, we've not played in recent times, to my absolute top knowledge, any teams where I'm like, wow, they're super intimidating to me.
That probably includes the Lyon games and the 6 goals there in 2 games. You know what I mean? So in the league, it ain't that bad, is it? 6 goals. 6 goals in 2 games and then 6 goals in 4 games.
I personally do think we've missed De Ligt. I think he's our strongest centre back at the back, and I think he's been an excellent signing. I do think we have missed him. However, I do think the centre-backs that have been there have been doing a good job. I think that's the strongest part of Manchester United's team. Part of Manchester United's team, which Ruben Amorim actually said, Ricky, I'll bring up some of his quotes from his press conference last night. I'm not going to get the exact wording, but from my recollection, Ruben Amorim did say it's going to be a tough game for Manchester United because they're very good defensively athletic club and we struggle to score goals. Quite damning of the plays he's got. We struggle to score goals. It is a fact. I mean, what do you think of what Ruben Amorim said there?
It's a little bit damning of the manager because he knows that we struggle to score goals, and anybody who watches us regularly will know that I'm regularly saying, let's try something different. You know, we struggle so badly to score goals. I don't see what the problem is about trying one or two different players, particularly in, we haven't got many options as a number 9, of course, but we have got other options as the number 10, and I don't see why you don't try. I don't see what you can expect to go even worse or badly wrong. Do you understand what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you know who I'm talking about. I'd give Christian Eriksen more game time. I'd start him more. And I know you always say to me, yeah, but he hasn't got the legs. He has got the legs for an hour. And the first hour's vital. And if we keep holding the ball better, move the ball around the park better, there's no reason whatsoever that we might not score one goal. And we generally score one goal anyway, so what's the problem?
Would you start Eriksen tonight then if it was up to you?
I would, yeah. I want us to look after the ball better. I know Garnacho carries it. Everybody gets excited by the fact that... But he carries it. Generally, he gives it away at the end of that carry. Let's try and get some control of the game. I thought we played better against Wolves when Eriksen played. You know, I know it was 0-0, but it was 0-0 after an hour. I know we got beat 1-0 in the end, but it was 0-0 after an hour, and they didn't have a chance. So we need tonight, if we can, to prevent them from getting chances, and people often think that's about defending strongly, but you can limit their chances by looking after the ball better.
Yeah, well, the more you have the ball, the less chance they have to break onto you and come and attack your goal.
Exactly.
And Man City, obviously it's a different level, but Man City did that for years. They just dominate the ball.
Yeah.
So the other team tires themselves out trying to press, trying to win it back, and they don't have as much opportunity to create chances because they can't get the ball.
Correct.
So, I mean, I think all over the pitch, Manchester United don't have good enough players with enough quality to keep the ball, to be able to do that. But I do understand, even though it would be my personal preference, I do think Eriksen is quality on the ball, and I do understand the point that you're trying to make. If it was completely up to you, Ricky, tonight, with the squad you've got available, what would your starting 11 be?
If it was completely up to
you, but you have to play Amorim's system, the three at the back.
I would go with Mazraoui as a right wing back.
Who would your goalkeeper be? Nana, yeah.
I'd go with Mazraoui as a right wing back. Dorgu as the left wing back. I'm not mad keen on Dorgu, but he's athletic, he's strong. You know, he deserves a bit more game time, and we haven't got loads of options there either. Dalot's not fit.
I like the look of Harry Armas personally.
Armas looks good. He's a young kid though. Maybe give him a little bit of time. I don't know. You might have a point. Armas looks a better footballer without a doubt, but Dorgu is playing more. I would stick with Dorgu as the left wing back. I'll go with Mazraoui as a right wing back. I would go with Yoro, Maguire and Shaw as the 3 centre backs. I mean, midfield 2 6s would be Ugarte and Casemiro, and I think it will be tonight. I think it will be that, because I think the manager's going to understand that we're going to come under quite a bit of pressure. And then you're asking me what
I'm asking you.
My 2 10s tonight would probably be, if it was me, I would go with Eriksen and Mainu. 2 players who I think look after the ball better. It's all about looking after the ball tonight when you get it, and be number 9 would be Højlund.
Interesting stuff. I very much doubt that Amorim will go that, but I wanted to get your point.
It wouldn't surprise me if virtually that exact team plays, and the only difference will be Bruno where I've put Eriksen. I think might well be the only change.
I think Garnacho might play. Just to give Manchester United a bit of an outlet on the break.
Yeah.
Again, I get it, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't really lead to much, but he has got the ability, Garnacho, to always find himself in the right place at the right time, and if he just works on that final end product, it gives Manchester United an outlet. If Ahmad was fit, I think he would be that outlet, but unfortunately he's not, and it's that winger type profile that Amorim likes to have in there. But get in the comments down below. I would be all for going with more technical footballers who can keep the ball. I'd have to have Bruno in there, but if the lineup did come out and Garnacho wasn't in it, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think looking after the ball is going to be key, and I do have to agree with you. Also, if anyone Oh, my earring's just fallen out. If anyone's wondering, that's because we were having a fight before, Ricky. If anyone's wondering why Ricky's got a plaster on, we started fighting about whether Bruno Fernandes should be in the team. Earrings flying, plasters on the face. I mean, you know, couple drinks down in...
Scratch me, love.
In Bilbao. Can't believe it. Can't actually believe it. But Ricky,
we had a good few drinks last night and you met a couple of me pals, didn't you?
We did. I was going to record a bit, actually, last night.
You don't want to meet any more of me pals now, do you?
Do you know what? I had a very good time last night. I thought the banter was flowing. It was nice football chat. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I'll meet all of the friends. I'll meet them all. But look, I mean, I reckon everyone would love to hear some of the stories that you have to tell, especially the footballing ones as well. Don't know if Ryan will want to meet anymore behind the camera. But anyway, we'll keep them stories to ourselves. Finally, Ricky, score prediction.
I'm going to go with my heart and I'm going to say a 1-1 draw.
A 1-1 draw. Is that the furthest you can push the boat out?
Yeah, the furthest I can push the boat. A win would be absolutely a staggeringly good result. I mean, obviously, but it'd just be staggering if we could win here. I can't see that happening. I'll take a 1-1.
Well, I thought it was interesting what Amrim said. Amrim said if he got asked if he'll change his style for tomorrow's game, what he did at Bournemouth, and he said, we change each game. Against Bournemouth, we saw a team that press really high. Bilbao is more or less the same thing. We'll see the strengths of the opponent. We'll see the way they play the game. And he's compared the way that Bournemouth play a lot to Athletic Club. So I think 1-1 could be the way to go. I do think Athletic Club have some scary players. I mean, Amram himself name-dropped Nico Williams, who is fantastic. He's going to be causing problems. I have no doubt about that. But I also, my gut feeling is it's going to be 1-1, but I really want to back United, so I'm going to say 1-0 United.
Wow.
Sack it. Actually, no, they're going to score. They're going to score in their stadium. I'll go either 1-1 or 2-1 United. That's what I'll go. Can't make a decision. But look, Ricky, we'll leave it there.
Okay.
The only one thing to say is, what is it?
Come on, United!
Come on, United.